Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to go over how I'm learning German. I thought this would be really interesting for anyone that wants to learn a language really, because it's not just German, you can just copy these tips with anything, any language really. So let's get into the video. The first thing I did was download the Duolingo app. So if you've never used Duolingo, it's basically this amazing app that you can download on your phone or you can use on your computer, laptop, wherever. And it basically first you do a test to see how well you know the language, and then it starts you off where it thinks you're best at, the best level you're at, and then just gives you tasks to do basically, and you can set an XP limit you want to do every day. So I have mine at the lowest you can get, which is 10 XP a day, which is just one lesson a day. But you can do higher, and obviously you can do more than your goal for the day. For every time you complete your daily goal, you get coins that you can then spend on extra lives, so that you can continue learning if you lose lives. So basically every day you have, I think it's 6 lives, and every time you get a question wrong they take a life off you, and once you're out you need to either practice to put your lives back up or have to wait, I believe it's 4 hours per life. So it's up to you which one you want to do, or you can just buy more. And you can also pay for what's it called, a freeze day, so that if you don't learn for the day, then it just keeps it in one place and you won't lose your streak, because you can do a stake, I think it's called. So basically you pay in 1 coin, and if you do it for 7 days you double it. I think it might be 7 coins and then they double it, and then after that it goes up to 50 coins, and I think it goes up to 100. I don't think you can do more than that. But also the more days you have in a row, you earn more points for that. So if you get 10 days in a row, you earn a point, and if you earn 20 days in a row, you'll give you 2 points, and 30 days you'll get 3, and so on. So yeah, that's just a fun way really, I think, as well, of helping people learn. And I think it's a really good app to learn a language. I think it's easy to become lazy with it though, so don't just click on every word to find out what they say. Actually attempt the language. So that's my first one, Duolingo, which I recommend. I really like it. Next, okay, podcasts. So I started listening to the Coffee Break German podcast. That's really good. So that's 2 men, and they talk. One's a native German speaker and one is from Scotland, and the German speaker tries to teach the Scottish person German, yeah. And then they also have different segments in the show. So you have the cultural expert, and then tells you a bit about Germany and fun facts about Bavaria and countries around the Germany region around Germany, so that because other places in the area speak Germany. Words today. Other countries surrounding Germany speak German, e.g. Austria. So it tells you a bit about those other countries as well, so you can learn some facts along the way. There's also a grammar expert, because there's a lot of different stuff. So in a lot of other languages there's different ways to say there, depending on if it's male, female, or neutral, or plural, I think. And she explains a lot of that in German, and how they do it. I believe there's one other thing on there, but I cannot think what. Okay. So the second podcast is actually Learn German by Podcast. With podcast, I've forgotten it already. But basically that is it's 2 people, I think, and they have a conversation in German, and then they go through it slower, and someone explains in English what's going on. So first they say blah, 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 really quickly, and you're kind of oh, I don't know what's going on. And then they say it again a bit slower, and then you're oh, okay, yeah, I get this part, I get that part. And then they listen to it again. Well, then a guy talks and says so first they're on about, talking, where do you live, blah, blah, and then they have the conversation, and then if there's any specific words they will break down like a word. They'll say like, oh, this one word means blah 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 blah, but in this context it means yada yada yada. It's really good. I think that's more advanced obviously than learning. Like so like Coffee Break German is more for like very basic beginner learning, whereas that is people that kind of understand and want to get a better round knowledge of it. That, yes, so I like that. Also, there's a German learning website called DW, and they do a lot of different podcasts. So they do, I can never remember the name of them because they're in German. And so there's one about a guy called Harry, and it's kind of like Groundhog Day, where he keeps repeating the same day, except he's an English speaker and he's trapped in Germany for the day, and he needs to figure out how to stop the cycle of the day going around, so he needs to learn how to speak German. It's good. It's a really interesting concept. I can't think of the other one. They have a couple that if you want to learn German via podcast, you should go and look at. Next, books. I think books are a really good way to learn. Obviously reading, a bit different to audio because, you know, that's obviously, they're two different skills. Yes, so you can either read on Duolingo. They have short books where they actually read them out to you, but you can only get these on the computer, so don't try to look at these on your phone because you'll have no fucking look at it. No look at it, sorry. Yes, don't look at this on your phone because it is not on the mobile app. You need to look on a PC, but they have short books and they read out quite quickly, and then like actually read out sound, and then you can stop and actually read through yourself, and you can click on all the words to see what they mean, and then at the end of a certain line they'll ask you questions to make sure you actually understand it, which I think is also really good. Or I use like the Amazon Kindle on my phone. This way you can get so I pay a subscription fee of I think $7.99 a month, but then you get Kindle Unlimited, so you can rent 10 books at a time for free. So I do that, because they're like German kids books, I tend to rent them for a very short period of time and give them back, which is obviously that's like an easier way than buying a load of German kids books. And also then, as long as you're connected to the internet, you can click on any word and it'll come down the bottom of your page. You can like flick across to the translate category and it will tell you the word in English. Yes, but you can also buy like the English and German books together, so they'll do a paragraph and then they'll do German, like a paragraph in German and a paragraph in English, paragraph in German, paragraph in English. So that's a good way of introducing yourself. But I find that I need to like cover up the English, otherwise I find myself just looking at the English, which obviously there's no point in doing that. So I prefer the ones that it's like a page and then one, but they're harder to come by. Next. Write out the notes of things you have learnt. So like Coffee Break German, that's just 15 minutes, but you should really write out everything that you've learnt, because then you know how to spell it as well as just hearing it, and it's more likely to stick in your head. That is one big mistake I've made with Duolingo. I did not write out any of my notes, and now I'm about halfway through and I need to go back and write out all of my notes, which is rather time consuming, but I haven't started it yet, but I will get through it soon. I'm going to start with the basics and work my way down to where I am, and then it's all back in my brain a bit more and I can always go back and look through it, which is vital in learning a language. Social media. So I actually have a completely different Twitter account which is dedicated to German. So I don't speak any English on there, I completely speak in German, and I only follow other German accounts. I, at the moment, only follow learning German accounts. So there's one, I think it's actually DW, the company I mentioned earlier. They post up several times a day and they'll have like a question and they'll have a word missing, and then they'll give you options down below, and then you comment saying which option you think it is, and then like a couple hours or like a day later they'll write down the answer, so you can go and check if you was right. But also they do sometimes like your post if it's right, so you know. Yes, that is one good one. Oh, I also follow another one. I'll obviously like tag everyone below that I've mentioned. So another one that's really good, can't remember the name of it, but the person that runs the account, so basically they'll write a tweet in German and then the next tweet they'll write will be the exact same thing in English, which I think is really good because then you can guess what it says and then you know. Whereas if sometimes they do it like the German and then the English right next to it, and I cheat with things like that, which, you know, I can't help. It's just like my instinct to look at the English instead of the German. So I like that. It's good to try and guess. Yes, what next? YouTube. Yeah, I think YouTube is a great place to learn German. You can either listen to English people that have learned German, not like just from England, English speaking people that have learned German or are learning German, like this, tips of how to do it. They can also like say things that they have found, you know. I like a guy called Tom something. I'm not very good with names, am I? I will also link him below. He is great and he learns a lot of different languages. He has a lot of different skills that he helps with, and because so basically he travels around the world learning these languages as well. So he spent I think 2 months in Germany, and I don't know, it's really good. I enjoy watching those, but also you can look at people who tell you what books they've read in a foreign language. They also tell you like what level they think they are, so that you can get a concept of where you think you should be. So if you don't know, languages in German go A, B, C, and then I think you have like A1, 2 and 3, and then B1, 2, 3 and C1, 2, 3, and obviously A1 being the lowest and C3 being the highest. Yes, so people will tell you like, oh, I think this book is in the A's and this is B's and this is C's, and then you can range, like, you know, get a range of where you think you are and pick a book based on that. Yes. Other things I like, oh, there's a lot of actual people that teach you German. So I follow German with Anya, and she's really good at, because I like as well, she doesn't speak in English and then say German. She'll speak in German first and then English. I know this sounds stupid, but like if you learnt in a school, they speak in English first, tell you what they're doing, and then they speak in German. Or at least that's always been in my school. Whereas if they said things in German, I think you, like if they just said like, oh, we're going to learn the alphabet, but in German first, you kind of have to see the word, like think of what they're saying first before it's said in English, and I think that helps develop your skill. Yeah, so that's it. I will post everyone I've mentioned below on all of the podcasts, Twitters and YouTubes below, so you can go and see books. I can't really recommend any books. I think it's just your personal preference. As all the ones I've read are still very much beginner German. They literally, I just go on to the Amazon store and type in like German books, or like, yeah, German books, and then it normally comes up with the bilingual books. Yeah, it's easy enough to find, or as I said, just go into it and go. Yeah, so I know this video is short, I'm sorry, but I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully see you next time. Like, subscribe, and don't forget, if you actually enjoyed this, please tell someone so they can watch it too, because, you know, why wouldn't you tell someone? Tell someone. Yeah, okay, I'll see you soon. Goodbye!